think so. I mean, I think it was a shock result. Of course, we were all like, "Wow, what's going on?" But there were still 2 games to go. And against Mexico and Poland, you've always fancied Argentina. It was a bit nervy, maybe the first hour or the first half, certainly, against Mexico. But then once Messi scored that goal, and after that, you knew the tension was off and you knew that they were going to beat Poland today. We said with Nadem, once the first goal went in, we said, okay, they can easily win 3-4-0 now. And to be fair, they had the chances to go 3-4-5-0 up. So, yeah, they were still very strong favorite to top that group. And maybe that defeat against Saudi Arabia sort of like changed something in the sense that suddenly there was adversity. Before they'd won 35 in a row, everybody could see them as favorite, maybe winning it as well for Messi's last World Cup. And maybe that shock result early was like, okay, right, we will have to fight for this if we really want to go all the way. And I agree with Nadem. I think the momentum they have now, you don't want to be Australia because they could thrash them. And then whoever is in the quarterfinals and then potentially Brazil in the semi-final as well, you think like, okay, they picked up that momentum. They're playing better. They started to find the best 11 that they have right now with Lo Celso being up for this tournament before. So they would be very dangerous and favorite again now.
Yeah, absolutely. They're kind of having the same path they had in qualifiers, where it was just like, what's going on with Scaloni? And then step by step, week by week, qualifying window after qualifying window, they were getting better. Nadem, Lewandowski. I mean, one of the best number 9s out there. Ballon d'Or. If he's never, winning it, he's definitely a contender. Bayern Munich legend, and of course Barcelona now. Not that great in this World Cup. Is it more to do with the team itself or him? Do you think?
Perhaps the answer is both. Yeah, I think ultimately the way that Poland do play, it's not the most expansive style. They're not controlling the ball that much, not creating tons of chances. But he's still up there. I think at times he's pressing well, but he's basically living off scraps. And at times when they do release the ball to him, it's not as if support is literally flying up to get there to help him. So sometimes it's almost like they're relying upon him to be the great individual that he is. But unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. And I think I'm with Julian. In the next round, you're fancying them to essentially go out. But it is still great to have somebody like Lewandowski in your side, because you sort of anticipate that in that next game, they're not going to get a ton of chances. But maybe they'll get one, and maybe that drops to Lewandowski. And as we've seen hundreds of times before, he's capable of finishing those opportunities. So I'm sure he will be frustrated in some ways, especially because in theory, this could be his last one. But the fact is they're still in it, and to still be in it is something that many teams would be dreaming of right now. And to be in it with a chance, knowing that, at the end of the day, you just need one game to go your way to get to the next round. I think he'll just keep the faith, keep believing, keep working hard, because that's all he's ever done throughout his career. So I think there is an element of disappointment about how he's not scored more, how his team's not played better. But you wanted to get out of the group. Now he has a big check for that. And now they go on into the knockouts and believe that, maybe they can go a bit further than people think.
Maybe. You never know. The knockout stages is a brand new tournament in many ways. We're going to say bye to Rob Dawson very soon. But before he goes, Rob, final question to you, my friend. After Saudi Arabia defeated Argentina, now they're top. They're looking good. Everybody's feeling a little bit better about them. Did you expect this after that loss to Saudi Arabia? Because many thought, well, they're done, I think. They're done. What did you think?
It wasn't the Saudi Arabia defeat that worried me with Argentina, because teams have those days sometimes, and just nothing happens, and you get a freak result. It was a 60 minutes against Mexico that worried me, because they were very lethargic against Saudi Arabia, and when they needed to put their foot down, they couldn't do it, and they struggled against Mexico, and it was really only a moment of Messi magic that turned that game. And then obviously they go on and win the game. Before tonight, I was worried about Argentina. I thought they might go out tonight, but they were far better than I expected. And Scaloni's picked the 2 young guys, Enzo Fernandez in midfield and Julian Alvarez up front, and it seemed to just inject a load of energy. And they seemed a lot sharper on the ball. They moved it a lot quicker. Julian Alvarez is a fantastic player. No one's really spoken about him at City because Haaland has scored all those goals, but he's already scored 7 goals for City.
Well, this guy right here has been yelling about Julian Alvarez, and nobody says anything wrong. Nobody listens to me, Rob Dawson.
But he's been fantastic, and he was fantastic for City. He was fantastic tonight. Scored a wonderful goal. And Scaloni hasn't made that many changes to his team in qualifying and joining the Copa America, and he has kind of stumbled on a team now. If you go by tonight, and maybe this is a team that's going to take them through into the knockouts. And finally, I think they came in as a tournament favourite before we all arrived here. They on that huge unbeaten run. They're the champions of South America, and people were watching them in the first 2 games thinking, where is this Argentina? And they turned up tonight. And if they play like that through the knockouts, then they're going to go very, very far in this competition. They were fantastic tonight.
All right, let me put you in the spot before you go. Are they going to the final?
I mean, Brazil in the semi-final would look scary.
They're on a roll until they meet Selecao. I think that's what it's going to happen.
No, I don't think so. Not the final, but they'll go far.
Okay, we'll see. Well, Rob Dawson, make sure you get some sleep, buddy. Thank you so much, my friend. Rob Dawson right there. Make sure to follow all his content. He's there covering the World Cup for ESPN FC. All right, let's keep going here. Julian, Messi dependencia is slowly becoming a thing. We talked about it during qualifiers. I went on your show with Gab talking about how it's no longer becoming a thing. It did seem a little apparent at the beginning, but not more. I mean, let's talk about this young squad a little more. Julian Alvarez, of course, Enzo Fernandez earlier on. They have a lot of talent. Do you worry anywhere in the knockout stages? I mean, how far do you have them going? Because the Brazil obstacle is there. No matter what happened in Copa America, the Brazil obstacle is there. Do you think it's more about these young guys can take them, or is it Messi dependencia continues?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm not really sure about the Messi dependence. I have to say, we were watching with Nathan today, and we said at some point, we said to each other, let's just keep our eyes just on Messi. And we were for like 3 minutes, and then they created a chance that Messi didn't touch the ball. And we were laughing and we said, you see, we wanted to see just what Messi was doing, what his position, what kind of position he would pick, what he would do, if they were looking for him all the time or not. And in the end, they created a really good chance without him being involved at all. So I don't believe in that Messi dependent. Of course, he's the greatest player of all time. So if he's in a good position or he can do something magical at any time, of course he can. But I think they've got a much stronger collective, maybe the strongest collective that Messi has ever played with Argentina, which is very valuable to him and to everybody else, of course. I still think that I've got an issue with Di Maria, as much as I love him, as obviously a PSG fan myself. But I'm not sure how well he fits in there. Okay, he brings some pace that maybe others don't have. I would still fancy some sort of Lautaro Martinez, Julian Alvarez front two with Messi in a free role anywhere he wants, and then have my midfielders behind and my back four, where I would not have Otamendi. By the way, there was another reckless tackle tonight where we thought, why would you go to ground like this? Why would you do that? but which is a good thing for Argentina, because right now you can use the Australia game in a way to try to get there to your ideal 11 or perfect 11 if you want. For then the quarterfinal, semi-final, final, when things are going to be much tougher, no offense, but much tougher than Mexico, Poland, Saudi Arabia, and Australia.
Yeah. Final word on Argentina, Nathan. I don't know how far you had them before the tournament. Obviously, you're a big Messi fan. How do you see it here? Obviously, it was remarkable to see Australia come runner-up as well. I mean, amazing. If anybody saw the Melbourne scenes, incredible. But surely they can get past. Brazil, if it goes their way, of course, becomes their first major obstacle.
Yeah, respectfully to Australia, you do get the feeling that Argentina are going to dominate that game. But, this is football. Anything goes. And for me, when we create the brackets for ESPN, I did have Argentina, Brazil in the semi-final like a lot of us did. But I had Brazil going through. But I'm prepared to change it now. Because if Neymar isn't playing for Brazil, but Messi's playing for Argentina, then that's the way that I'm going to go. And I think Argentina could make it to the final. But there's a lot of football to go before that point. But it's a matchup that myself and I'm sure lots of other people around the world would love to see. But if they do match up in the way that they have done at this moment in time with Neymar being out, I think I could see Argentina going all the way and getting themselves a chance in the final to win that World Cup.
Yep, a very good point. We'll have to see how Neymar does. Reports are suggesting that, obviously missing on Cameroon, but we'll have to wait in the round of 16.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.